What is up, legends? We are back, and this wasn't a planned video, but I was asked to actually come in and look at some of the new things on the official wiki. Just granted, 'cause I know a lot of people confused. This is the only official wiki that the company has sponsored and come out and said sponsored. There was some stuff said, but this is still the only one that, as far as I know, as far as I've been told, is the only official. We have Pridewind, but I don't, as far as I have known, which is again causing confusion right now. The company itself has not said Pridewind is an official source. They have officially said that Hell Hades wiki is the official source, so I'm gonna go with that. So just because I know people are gonna ask, and people ask me in previous videos too, because some stuff was said. I don't know necessarily if that is the case, but again, objective truth, the only thing that has been said is that Hell Hades is. Put that out there officially by the company, not random person on the company or something like that, officially by the company. So let's go over here. So the Ultimate Beginner Guide, which is I'm actually a part of, I don't think that much more is new to that, but I did want to come in. So let's just see what we have in the bottom right here, along the lines. I don't think this is that much new. Again, all this is my stuff. Now people ask me, because of the changes, am I going to redo this, or am I going to have to redo this? No, nothing here changed, believe it or not. You still do the same exact stuff that you were going to do even before they nerfed things. They didn't nerf PvE progression with the recent patch announcement stuff. They nerfed mainly turn push and some characters who were overperforming, and that had nothing to do, honestly, with progression. It's not going to affect you. Like Dinah's nerf isn't going to affect you in Terra Matan because you weren't using your turn push with Dinah and Terra Matan. You were using her stripping, basically, the defense and causing extra damage. Now, what it did do is people who are using Victor are going to have to come up with other resources, but there's plenty of other characters that take that slot. It won't be as oppressive and overwhelming as Victor was, but you will still win. And like, in the least, like, you'll maybe take 10 seconds longer. Like most of the changes that happened in the recent patch is just going to make you have to fight like an extra round or something like that, or make it so that you have to build Tia properly, or like Rahu is gonna be more of a force in the game. Zadia is gonna be more of a force in the game. It's not really things that's going to affect your progression at all. And then PvP, a lot of people don't understand that end game is going to basically be you countering and you being able to take a hit. So all that turn meter push that they nerfed relatively, that's not going to really be that much of a problem later on in end game. It's just in the beginning of PvP where it was really oppressive, where you can just basically give the other side no turn. Like they just don't get to play at all. That's the stuff that they nerfed. And that's not going to really affect you going middle to end game in PvP. That's why I said yesterday, where people kind of confused, that this patch really didn't do anything as far as mess up how you're gonna play the game. It really didn't. Like I know P is T is nerfed. Oh my god, no, she isn't. Like they nerf people improperly using her. That's all. If you were using her like Howes, which most people were, you won't even feel that change because you're gonna be tanky. And if you were using the proper speed up to 160 with Bramble and HP, you don't even care about any of that. You just don't. It doesn't affect anything. So, like again, that's not going to be a problem. I don't think Victor is like that. They kind of like, what I see happening because of what happened with Victor is that there's probably going to be another character soon that's going to take his spot. Because right now there's nobody who works like that, like the way he does as a single target besides Koros, which Koros basically got buffed. So maybe they did that to buff Koros, so you use Koros in that spot, which he is a red unit, and like maybe maybe they would expect you to use that for Terra Matan, even though Koros doesn't feel that great in Terra Matan because he needs a little bit of time to get there. So that makes your speed clear for that a little bit longer, but you'll still be able to do it. So like if I gotta do an extra round with Koros, if I get him, because who knows what's gonna happen, Um, yeah. So here's the thing. Here's how you can kind of like handle going into stuff in like with this game. Now, if you're gonna reroll, now like you said up here, like they said up here, rather not you said, they said, you can go after well, they're not gonna show it here, but you can go after like Lily, Doki, or Heinrich. I would not go after Messiah. Like Messiah is great AoE and stuff like that. But I would not re-roll for him. I would just let him come out. I'll give you a stat. I've summoned over 50,000 times in this game because obviously we had that much currency. I sat with people in Discords and they just watched me summon, and we just chilled out, everybody eating food, and I'm summoning and watching, literally like in the Discord call with people just having fun summoning. The interesting thing, the character that came out the least in all those summons, because I literally had a stat nerd. We were kind of like laughing about it, like just basically copying everything down. I don't know how he did that, but he did it relatively good. I'm pretty sure he had AI. He was cheating. There's no way somebody human could have did what he was doing and it'd be accurate, because he was actually accurate, because I was recording and going back and they're like, yeah, this did this, this did this, this did this. So he did a tabulation, and the character that came out the least out of like I didn't do 50,000 in that session. I did like maybe 10 or 15 or something like that, but in that session the character that came out the least was Doki Doki. I got Lily 10 times, which I don't know how the hell. Like Lily just was like, what's up, bitches? Like she just came out all the time. Not all the time, obviously, like in 15,000, 10 times is like a drop in the bucket, but that is a shot compared to Doki, who came out 4, which I immediately know. I was like, damn, Doki didn't come out at all. Messiah came out 12 times. Heinrich came out 13 times. Like now, and all of that, we're talking about in the targeted summon. Not the targeted summon, and the permanent banner. I'm sorry, not the targeted, and the permanent banner, like, like it was interesting to me because I like Doki as a unit and I would use it more, but in all of my runs, Doki came out one time. I did 15 different levels to 40 or more, and Doki came out once. And all of that, I had her one time and all of that. So it was interesting to see in all of those summons that I did that she only came out 4 times. So I don't know what's going on with Doki. But apparently I'm not Doki approved or something like that. I don't really think that she has any difference or anything like that. It may be something like that that is unforeseen, because sometimes that happens in gacha where a character isn't actually the number that what they appear to be, but it could just necessarily be RNG. But with that said, all of those characters did not come out like we were in the teens. Nobody got over 20 out of all of the light dark units. The 4-stars did. The 4-stars came out relatively a lot, actually. Like Marvel was over 30 or something like that. Not that anybody cares right now about Marvel, but that's how that went. So my goal, if I reroll, because I don't know if I'm probably not going to, but if I reroll and I get Doki, I'm going to keep her. Not necessarily because of like use that type of stuff. It's because I may never see her ass. like I just may just keep her just because of that. But if I was gonna pick somebody just for a reroll as a target, it would probably be Lily, then Heinrich, Doki, and then Messiah and Sania being last, because Sania is really it shocked me that they did not help Sania at all. So maybe we just all bad and don't know how to use her properly or something, and that she got something really busted that we all don't know about, or just that they just don't know that she's not popular and not that great and everything except dot team. Like I don't know. Like it was really shocking to me that they just didn't give her the most love out of anything. They just left her there. Like, you be alright. But yeah. And then the other new girl, she's kind of like coming in to be the meta character as well. She's supposed to be in there. Obviously, I would put her second behind Lily as far as that, just talking about her. Maybe even first, because she just could do the job all the rest of the characters got nerfed. That was doing plus that freeze, and I would love to try her in a double team with Kraken just to see how funny that is, because just nobody gets to play at all. You just get to do nothing at that point. So I definitely want to see that if I can actually get that possible. I don't really think I'm gonna waste the time on rerolling, because you don't have to in this game. You can win relatively about it, but I will tell you that to actually get the perfect start in this game, you need to do that. Because let's say you get the perfect, like you go for Lily and you get Lily, bam, go right into targeted. You know I'm picking Tia, so now I got Lily and Tia out there. Whoever you want to pick is fine. I don't want to discourage anybody from playing their favorite characters. I'm just going to tell you what's the easiest way to go about doing things. You do that, head over into Freya's banner. Like I told you guys, remember now you now have Lily and Tia, and then you go into Freya, and then hopefully you get Freya. That's 4 characters now. Right there, that's literally starting team right there. And then you just throw Dorothy out there as a healer. Not to mention that because you've been going, like you went after Freya, you might have Kraken, and you might have Dinah and Chiaki, basically. So now you have Lily, Tia, Dinah, Kraken, Chiaki, Freya. 6 characters. Remember, you need 10 usable by 40. Preferably 15 for the Army of 5 strat. And you just literally took RNG away. This is what I'm trying to reiterate again to people and get it through your head, that the best way to make a gacha easy is make it so that the outcome is in your favor, not the gacha's favor. Because when it's in the gacha's favor, that's when you end up losing progression, because you're slower in progression. You have to actually, you literally have to spend to get the characters that you actually need. I'm teaching you the casual to free to play way to make it so that the gacha's not screwing you. Now, preferably if you only spent 40, you literally have 600 summons. In best case scenario, 600 summons basically to do whatever the hell you want to do, because that's how many you're gonna get by the time you get to account level 50, as long as you're doing everything. And permanent banner, that's a lot to put in permanent banner. You're going to get SSR, like that's going to happen. It doesn't matter if it's dupe, because dupes count. Like I see people, but you may get it. It doesn't matter, dog. Dupes count. Doesn't matter. Hopefully you get the characters you want. Hopefully you get light dark units and stuff like that. And the average for 500, not 600, because I didn't do 600 because I didn't know at the time that it was 600. People did that math later after I did all those summons and stuff like that. The thing that at 500, the range from how many SSRs I got was 9. No, it was 7 to 21. I actually, in one run of 500, I actually got 21 SSR. That I will cry if I get that on global. It probably won't happen, but and the average was 9. In one run, actually it happened 3 times. I got 7, and the reason why I got 7 is because I ended up getting dupes. That's how I ended up with 7. It was 7 different SSRs, but I ended up with 2 dupes, which means I really did get 9. But I ended up with 7 because they duped twice. It was like I got a Tia dupe, which is not a bad thing, and then I ended up getting a well, in one run I got a Tia dupe, and then I ended up getting Ramoka twice, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either. So I'm never really annoyed by dupes, because again, they count now, and they give passive stats on top of things, so it kind of is what it is. Now remember, you already have 6 characters, that you're going to be using anyway. That's going to help your progression. Now you're adding on that, let's say in the worst case scenario, 7. And that's like the worst case scenario right there, which was the average. You really probably are not going to get anything less than that at 7. So now you have 13, which means you only need 2 more. Throw in right here, they announced this just recently. We're going to get Perfect Latifs, Evolution, Hydra Crystals, Anime on prototypes. Now, the interesting thing about this is that majority of this is going to be off of Ling Lao's event. So you know, this is just stuff like in there. They're announcing the pre-register stuff now, so that's going to actually help on top of everything that we got, which is why I said the ultimate beginner guide is just going to be, it's the same stuff basically, but it's going to be, what I did was the ultimate beginner stuff with no help. By the way, I did a naked server. That sounds dirty, but you get what I mean. It was a naked server. I had none of this event help that we had in the beta. I was just playing the game and using stuff in the game. So what you're seeing me do right there is in its rawest form, free to play. I couldn't spend anything to get any help, and I went all the way to 40 with the method. And this is the same method I did over and over again. That's why when people are like, well, I'm gonna go do this, I'm like, you're doing it harder, dog. Why? Like, why are you doing that? like casual to free to play, I showed you how to do it freely and fast, and they're like, well, I want to be slower. I'm like, okay, have at it. Have at it. But you are going to have it easier because you're going to have all the events. You're going to have the login stuff, and you're going to have extra stamina on top of just the 1,000 stamina that we're going to get from the currency every day, which means that you're probably going to be able to go all the way up to 50 with that method, because I stopped at 42 before it actually stopped. I mean, before it actually started being a negative impact on my currency. But with all of this stuff, you're probably going to get to account level 50 before it's a negative impact, which is great. Can you, like, there's not many games that you can just steam roll progression like that and still be able to summon 600 times. Now, granted, the 600 times is not your currency. The 600 times is the tickets in the game, not counting the free tickets that we get. So it's a little bit more than that, and not counting whatever tickets they give. Including, we have a coupon code, which I believe is 10 more tickets that was not counted in that 600. It technically, actually, it's 640, but that's not counted in all that. So we're really probably looking at 700 that we'll have in total. That was more than enough to do everything, and just be fine, and just have, even if you are down to like RNG, basically you're still going to have all these characters useful that you can put up a fight. Remember in RTA, because I still see people making this mistake as far as how they handle on the progression. Please, I showed this in the previous video. Account up to 2 6 stars, and then that's where the army of 5 strat comes in at. You want to get the rest of everybody in your account that you are using up to 5 stars, so you have usable characters. It's more important to be able to take down content like Doki, get your speed, then handle Terra Matan, which leaves you over to Aurora, and start going down that list so you can actually get things that are going to be useful for RTA, for those people who are into that, because this is a PvE/PvP game. It might even be 60/40 as far as PvP/PvE. So you're going to want to focus on that. Don't ignore it, because that's also a part of your progression, because you get resources from that. And it's fun. Like, you know, don't be afraid of it. If you feel some type of way, watch the RTA guide. I'm not the best when it comes to stuff like that, but I'll suggest somebody for that, which is Sturby. I've seen him in Dislight kill it, and I think he's gonna do well over here. He breaks down everything. I think he breaks down everything the same way that I break down progression. So if you want somebody that kind of like learn RTA, Sturby's probably the best person for that, as far as a content creator. Now, with all of that, and you have your army of 5, and the reason being, and I say this a lot in the official Discord as well. The reason why it's problematic, okay, say I have 4 6-stars, and it's Tia, it's Ling Lao, and then say I got Kraken like 6-star, just to be saying that, and then Lien, which is very possible people could do that, because you can literally use that team just to steamroll all the story content. You can basically auto it with that team. You can do that with Dorothy too. Dorothy it'll take a little bit more of her being built properly, more so than Ling Lao. Ling Lao is easier. Say you do that. Here's what's going to happen. You may catch a few people, but people are going to start to notice, oh, you only have these 4 characters at 6-star. Everybody else is like 4 or 5-star struggling. They're going to literally pick your team. They're going to negate the team. They're going to pick Lien first. So now you don't have Lien. What are you going to do? Now you're using 5-star that you probably didn't build up as much as you picked Lien. So obviously you're going to probably pick Tiamat. And then you know what they're going to do? They're going to pick Ling Lao. And now you asked out. Now you got, because you probably don't have anything else after that. And then they're going to pick 3 characters that are useful to them, because they already decimated your team, because now you only have 2 6-stars. If you have those 2 6-stars, that way they're going to pick somebody hopefully who's faster than your Kraken, which if they have Marvel, they probably put them up there. If they put something else out there to counter, you can even put Ksumi. Just somebody who's faster. If they have Bio, good luck. So or Claws or something like that. Like, you just literally got counted easily. To counter that, have a complete usable team that it's like it's going to be impossible for them to get everybody, because now you got 10 to 15 characters that are all usable, and you can counter the counter. That's kind of like how you handle RTA. If you overstack your account too much, you're just gonna lose RTA all the time, because people are just gonna know, oh, this Scion, okay, I'm picking his team, so he can't do ish. But if they're like, oh, this is Scion got mad, so it's like a mind game. Now they know that, oh, he got like 15 characters, man. All right, so what do I do? Who you gonna pick? So then it becomes a little bit of a mind game, and then you may have built something differently. You throw Viper up in there. They don't know how to deal with Viper, because people don't hardly deal with Viper. So, but then what that Viper gonna do? Do I have to ban him? But then do they ban him or Tia or Claws or Kraken? Or who do you ban now? Because a lot of people, when they see Viper, don't want to deal with that. Because if it's a well-built Viper, he can kill a team by himself. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Don't let him have bloodbath or have fun. So it's just things like that. So I'm just throwing stuff out there. I know I'm talking and stuff like that. But let's just they got the hyperlink pass going on right now. Just throwing things out there, because I just want everybody to think a little bit on. I am probably, because I already have the top up thing going on, so I'm probably literally only gonna get the passes and some of the things in the store, because I don't want to influence myself too much, but I do want to support the company. I've gotten over 2,000 Etheria Restart subscribers since we've been doing this video. So it's that much. 2,000 Etheria Restart subscribers. So I feel bad when I don't support a company that's actually supporting me, basically. So that's why I am going to actually do stuff. We have something for Huion now, which this is boss Huion, but still cool. Now I'm wondering if she is actually going to be in the banner. I don't remember that or not. The progression team for Huion. Great. People don't be lighting. They go that character right there, Chiaki, baby. Told you, don't be skipping that Freya banner. What's wrong with y'all? Look at Chiaki and Gray in the same damn. See, this is why I say, and I have a problem with websites that teach top to bottom, because that screw when you teach stuff top to bottom. I throw any shade, but I know people do that, and I think that what's the best word that I can actually use for that? Educationally is wrong. Because again, it's like a rich person teaching a poor person how to be rich and being like, just get rich. That, and we do that in gaming, because we just literally tell people get good. Like, dog, pick Ramoka and Rosa, and you got end game right there. You could just take out Doki. Like, motherfucker, how are they supposed to get there? You can't just tell people that. Like, that's insensitive. That's mad insensitive. Like, you have to go from bottom to top, which is what I've been doing the whole time. That sounds weird, I know. But what that means is, okay, I'm teaching you from the start how to handle things. Okay, you're going to need, like, I'm not telling you, like, get good, because at 40, you're going to need 10 to 15 characters. I'm telling you how to get to 40. I'm telling you how to build it immediately for free. Like that. That is from bottom to top is how you're supposed to teach people, not top to bottom. Which is why I'm always going to disagree with terminologies when people say certain things like that. I'm never going to agree with you, because you're just wrong from the start. That's not even an opinion type of thing. It's just that you're not actually helping somebody from the start, so they're going to be lost. They're not going to be. You can't just say, they can't, like, Scion does it. Everybody isn't Scion. I have a ton of knowledge in this game. I can just literally pick anybody and go to 40, because I've done it so many times. I have picked anybody. I picked multiple characters as starter characters and went to 40. I'm not going to tell the community pick anybody and go to 40 just to deal with level 40. That is insensitive and wrong, 100%. You have to teach them how to get to 40. Which again, when you see this progression right here, you see these two characters. Now, this is an end game boss right now. So you wouldn't necessarily understand me saying, okay, pick these characters, and they're going to be like, well, how you get these characters? Do you know that you can go all the way to this boss and theoretically not get Kraken and Chiaki? That's possible. That's very possible. But this team right here makes this endgame boss easy. This is not meta, like, I mean, well, not, they are technically. Kraken and Chiaki are still relatively very good characters. And Leon is she's the only red DPS right now anyway, so she's just default meta until they give us a good red DPS that's universal. We have Koros, but Koros is bad for everything outside of guild boss. Like, and that's why I kind of shocked that they didn't do more for him too, to kind of make him useful other places. But this is a free to play team right here. You get Gray free, you get Leon free, and you can force getting Kraken and Chiaki free in the beginning in Freya's banner. You just force it. So one of the literal last bosses, you can knock out the meta team for her in the beginning of the game, in the first 10 minutes. See the bottom to the top coming? Y'all get it? Hopefully y'all get it. Like, this is why I was saying the stuff I was saying from the very start, and being as I guess you could say straightforward and blunt about it, because I didn't want you to get to the point of ever saying, damn, now I need this character, I don't have this character. Just knock it out in the beginning. There's no reason to even go through all that RNG. I don't know why people want to just gamble. Like Vegas would love y'all. Like, just don't even gamble, dog. Just take it out. But yeah, so Anya is actually interesting, and then obviously we got boss fight stuff going on right now. So let's look at the other thing real quick. We got Ren Kogetsu right here as well. I beat this, but I forgot who I beat it with, so I have no comment on this. Victor, well, this is going to change. This is definitely going to change. I'm going to have to tell somebody, but it probably still work though. But there's no guarantee you're going to get Victor. In Marvel came out a lot though. I don't know about Victor. Scion and Dinah. Dinah's part of the intro banner with Freya, so you're probably gonna have her anyway. Scion, I don't know. The whole team right now is outside of Dinah, who's like, oh, you can force that, but there's no guarantee Victor, Scion, and Marvel are just going to be just there. Obel I did use for this fight though. I did use Obel for this fight. And you notice the funny thing is that it's not anything crazy as far as using like, you know, you gotta have an SSR and stuff like that. You don't. You just don't. You just you need characters to do a specific job. So you can look at all this at your leisure, like I said. They do a good job of doing things in a bottom to top proper manner, so you learn how to properly play the game and not just like, look, this is like best of the slide, just get good. Like I hate that, because all that does is put people in my comment section saying so and so said do this. Well, do this, forehead. That makes people conceited. That's what that really does. It makes people conceited. So when other people are struggling because they don't have the same knowledge, you have people being elitist and saying, well, dog, just pick Rosa and you should be at level 40 and stuff like that, which I literally watch people do. I watch people do that in the official Discord, and I literally came in and personally, people will tell you the other day, I came in and personally chastised everybody for doing that. I was like, how you, like, y'all not helping people at all? Like, that's not helping people. This is confusing people. Like, people just come in, want to get information, and you gotta teach from bottom to top. And I think that has become the whole teaching meta first before you actually teach the person how to play the game has become the meta itself for how people deal with games so much that they don't realize how elitist and put off-ish that is for people who just want to learn. It's not a good way to do things, and communities shouldn't be like that, but it's been allowed to be like that for so long. So when I'm here like telling y'all F off, not y'all in general, telling people F off in general, acting like that, like at least act like you have some home training, that people want to learn the game and not just tell them get good. Like that doesn't work. That doesn't make people feel good or make people want to stick in the game. I don't want to foster that. I want to literally be the beacon of people just learning, and it being okay for them to learn, and not being toxic and trolling people because they're not on the same skill level or thought pattern as you. Like that's game racism. And as a black person, I'm not going to allow that. Like, I'm just not. I'm going to literally be a person who's just not going to allow that. I'm going to be the actual opposite of that and be like, no, y'all make everybody feel accommodated. Y'all, if somebody's struggling, we're going to go help that person. We're going to help them figure it out. If somebody needs to, or they want to use their favorite character, I'm going to sit down with you and help you use your favorite character and not make you feel bad about it. I'm going to tell you the best way to do it, but if you still want to use that character, I will still sit down with you and say, hey, this is how you're going to do it. Another thing real quick before I wrap this up, because I talked enough with this, and I think I looked at everything that I was asked to look at. Yeah, pretty much. That I don't think is talked about enough, and it could help you out, is picking a good guild. That is paramount, if you didn't know it, because what that is actually going to allow you to do, let me see if I can actually look at it. Yeah, is there no guild guide in here? There actually isn't. All right. I am gonna tell Socks that to tell the team, and there needs to be. Oh yeah, there is one. There is one. Never mind. I don't have to tell them nothing. So here's the thing. You're gonna get stamina in the guild, and you see, You get stamina according to how many people check in. So it needs to be an active guild. Make sure that you are joining an active guild and that they're going to be like taking down bosses. A guild that has a little bit of whales, they don't have to have a million whales, or even people who are just good. They don't even necessarily have to be whales. People who are just good, who have good characters. So when you go into a guild boss, you can use their team, like their characters, and have like multiple. Because if it's just like one or two people who are good, all the slots for that person's characters are going to get used up relatively quick. Basically, also make sure you coordinate that whatever the boss is, that everybody coordinates their color to counter that boss. So if that boss is weak to red, then you want to get red units out. That boss is weak to darkness, then you want to get light units out, like Messiah or something like that. Everybody puts out the strong stuff and coordinates like that, so there'll be enough slots. So if anybody is weaker, that you can actually help out your guild, and that will make the guild do more damage against the boss, kill the boss to get more rewards, and just pretty much help your progression out. It's just extra things, like you get a lot of stuff that you can pick up in the guild store. As you can see, you know, you get 45 stamina, union coins on 12 supply packs, union EXP, and you get these going along. Like you literally get stamina right there. You get currency. You get like one summon right there. You get an orange shadow print, which is very useful. You get more, you know, currency overall. It is worth fighting this and doing it properly, and it's worth actually going in and knocking all this out. So just keep that in mind, and be a little bit frugal. I'm not saying guild hop, because people will take that as guild hopping. Guild hopping is not is not necessarily advised. Obviously, you know, people are going to want to go to what is active. Get your friends together, make sure everybody is playing, and make it no hard feelings. If somebody decides they don't like the game and not playing anymore, you got to get them out and get somebody in who's going to actually be playing the game. Like, it's no hard feelings. You can't just log in every 5 days, because that's 5 days that somebody else could have been there doing DPS, and logging in to get you rewards. So especially as guild leaders, you have to be on it. That's something I'm going to be on. I'm going to be paying attention. I'm going to put people in charge of it, usually my mods and stuff like that, to pay attention. Like if somebody don't log in 2 days, they out. Because you literally costing us a login at that point. You need everybody to just make sure that they are active and they are going to be playing. Now, if somebody is like, oh, they got some type of family emergency or something like that, you know, be mindful of that, and then say, hey, you know, I'm gonna step out. The person, like, you know, I'm gonna step out because I'm gonna be gone like 3 or 4 days, but can I get an invite back in or something like that? You're gonna have to work out how you're gonna work that out, because space is limited. It doesn't seem like they're gonna give us many more slots, because we didn't get more slots. I think the guild was like 15 or something like that, and I think that's weird. It's hard to get everybody in. A good spot for all of that, and I'm actually going to put that suggestion is like maybe like 100. Like, you need to give guilds like 100 spot and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe that's a data problem for them or something like that, but I think like that on the limit that we had, which was like 25, that's way too small. You can't, like, especially like me as a content creator, I can't get everybody in a guild like that. I actually feel bad because there's nothing I can do about it. At that point, you can just get 25 people in. I got 58,000 subscribers. like that. This like, that feels bad. So hopefully they do something about that. Because I always end up like, you know, people say, hey, can I get into the guild? And I'm like, there's nothing I can do. It's full. And then like, damn, I got to fall off. And like, I just don't have time to like make multiple guilds. Like, that's like impossible to keep together for the most part. You just end up neglecting something or not paying attention, and then like stuff just goes south. But yeah, that's all I have for right now. So hopefully they will announce more stuff. Let's see if they did real quick. They did. Damn, this was literally, I didn't plan for this, but we're gonna have to just look at it right now. Can y'all make a dark mode for this? It's blinding the hell out of people. So Candy Party is actually in Shell Story. We knew that. Cubic game. Beginner event. 7-day check-in. Which that's interesting. Well, we're still always gonna have that. Animus reconfigured, that was there from the beginning. Task progress, that was too. 7-day commission. Growth boost. Oh, growth boost is permanent and is okay. Okay, that's good. Lethal pursuit. Summon arena. Dazzler post. Champions call. This is basically seems like stuff. Infinity train is gonna open up. That's the day before my birthday, June 12th. During an event. Okay. And it's only 7 days. Okay. Animus summoning event. Animus Lumina Reverie. So I don't think this was something that they announced that way, but they're announcing it now, and it's going to be lower, obviously. So there's the Freya banner, which is why I just showed you the relevance of why I keep preaching don't skip that. However, if you are re-rolling, here's a little sidebar. If you are re-rolling, you can skip that and then go straight to permanent banner and then try for whatever characters you want to go for. And then if you happen to get Lily or Doki or something like that, then head back to Freya and then knock out like your 40 or so summons and get those characters and then go about your business. You know. Light's Judgment, I just not. They for some reason seem to think that it's okay that this banner costs that much. I just think it's too much. I'm just not. Wish Machine. During this event, Honoric Box Series Chaka outfits will be limited time. Okay, so they talked about that before. Then the Hyperlink invitation right here. So everything that we saw in the CBT launch is what's going to be there global. So this is like, yeah, this is outside of like the Wish Machine and stuff like that, but this is not anything crazy. If I had saw this after I had did this video, I wouldn't even never done a video for this, because this is just the stuff that we already knew from the start. We don't know if they're going to give more stuff though, like, you know, global launch events, like, hey, like if we reach this much, thanks guys for showing up and stuff like that. We don't know if they're going to do anything like that, but you know, hopefully they do, because that'd be cool, right? So that's all I got. This was long enough. This is I keep saying this, but this actually is a list of like some massive gradient thing. I just won't even say it no more. Like, I'm just gonna end the video because I wasn't supposed to do this video, but I was asked to come and look at the wiki because they got new stuff on the wiki. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that and stuff like that. So catch you guys next video. Be legendary. You know, check the wiki out, check the new stuff out. And like I said, you know, top, if you want to learn bottom to top, this is the best place for it, and this is the only official place for it. So funny how that works out. Peace. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love everybody who stops by. You guys always make my day with your comments. It's always funny and whimsical and gives me a reason to keep going. So be legendary, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.